you don't know yet, but there's a wifey right there.
Want to hear the saddest quarantine story that happened to me last night?
Sure.
I was going to make my dinner, and so I had to think of a bowl of mashed potatoes that I was going to reheat because I made them the other night. And I saw a little bit of water in them. And I mean, I know it was fine, but I just wanted to throw a little water out in the sink, you know, condensation, whatever it was. And so I flip them over, and they all fell in the sink.
Flopped in the sink, oh god.
At first, I laughed so much.
Yeah, she was.
And then I was like crying.
I know. I thought she cut off her finger or something at first because she was like
shocked.
And that was the last mashed potatoes we had. So, and we're not
so
going grocery
sad.
shopping. We're rationing our food. So, yeah.
It's okay. I'll get over it. Maybe.
Lesson learned. You know, you live and you learn. Those kind of things happen.
Thinking about it makes me mad, but I'm fine.
I loved it. Those are the situations you just laugh at. You just say, kind of crazy. You laugh at. They make
me crazy. Actually.
They do a little bit. So how are you guys doing today? We actually just recorded a reaction to A Touch More with Pinoe and Sue, and it was a 45-minute video.
Whoa, that's not including the intro. It was like 50 minutes.
Yeah, I think I'm going to cut down that video a bunch. Sometimes we just get to talking, and I think some people...
I have some good stories. Please leave them in. Thank you.
I think some people like longer videos, and I think some people... That's one of the reasons I do timestamps, so you can go around. But this... Yeah, that's a good one. And we're actually going to react to one that got a lot of people suggested that we watch because these two people, Heather O'Reilly and Ali Krieger, are superstars. HAO.
Yeah.
They are superstars. And I'm so glad we reacted to this video because I watch it because I get the clips and then I'll show Sarah. But these are just such down-to-earth. Heather O'Reilly is such a down-to-earth gal who is just like I would know from back home, you know what I mean? Like she's someone I would just know from back home who is a superstar, you know what I mean? No fakey, she's just so down to earth, and
she's just normal.
Her
she's
and
like one of us.
Her and Ali talking is okay. So this is the premise. They have like an hour-long sit-down chat. They're doing their nails, so they're giving themselves.
Oh yeah, because the nail salon. Okay.
Exactly, nail salon. So they're giving each other, they're giving themselves a manicure. Their famous story that they're gonna open a nail shop, and it's called O Kriegers.
Oh, Krieger's, yeah.
O'Reilly, Krieger, O Kriegers, which is funny because where we used to live.
Is it a nail shop or is it?
Was it a nail shop?
Now that I'm thinking,
or a restaurant?
No, it's a nail salon.
Okay, we used to live somewhere where there was a place called Carlos O'Kelly's, and it was a Mexican Irish food.
What?
Yeah, it was Mexican Irish.
Why have I never put that together? I never ate there.
Carlos O'Kelly, really?
That's gross.
Yeah, Mexican fusion people. That's weird.
Bad.
I love Mexican food.
And leave the Irish alone and the Mexican alone.
Just
separate those babies.
So I just put some clips together. These are just fun clips.
Okay.
And I love Heather O'Reilly. We've talked about Heather O'Reilly, I think one other time on our channel when she was pregnant. Or when she announced she was pregnant. Right. But I actually have a clip about her talking about that too. But this clip, I believe the first clip is going to be talking about how Krieger's doing with the whole quarantine. So I think that's the premise of this one. Okay, and here we go.
Your lockdown time.
What are you doing with your lockdown time?
So honestly, last week I kind of hit my wall. Like I was doing great at the beginning and I was like, oh, this is gonna be nice to kind of have some, unexpected downtime for us. Like obviously, our lifestyle is like wild. It's like we're always on the road, packing a bag, like in different cities, and never really settled and never home, and having the opportunity to like enjoy home and enjoy the things that we want to enjoy outside of our work. So I feel like at the beginning I was like, yes, like this is good. Our bodies can kind of have a rest before preseason, and this will pass and we'll be good, and kind of unsure of like how long this was going to be. So I don't know. I then after, a while, a few weeks went by and trying to figure out training and finding a park to train in, and like, keeping fit and healthy and eating right. And you just like start to go a little crazy. So last week, Ash and I were actually out training, and I had like the worst attitude. And
it doesn't happen much, but we're all
no. And like, I'm usually like so positive and like full of energy and doing this and that and like, you know, lifting people up. And for me, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just not okay.
Right.
I hit my time period of like, you know, processing everything and not doing great. And you know what? I don't care. So my energy was like so bad, and Ash was literally, she stopped kicking the ball and was like, do you want to go home? And I was
Needed a timeout.
Yeah.
and I was like, actually, yeah, I do. I didn't say anything.
Heather's like,
No,
shots.
I didn't say it. But I didn't say
thought they
anything, and I
really
was
cut
just
in and
like,
we were like, bye.
no, we obviously finished the session, and like, but I just wasn't in a good mood. And now this week, I feel like I've turned a new leaf. So I feel like I'm back on the up and up. But last
Did
week,
you do anything, or did you just have to accept like that time was just kind of grim and it was what it is, and you just had to like kind of like see the storm out?
like honestly, I had to see the storm out, you know, and like just kind of stick to the routine and the day-to-day stuff that we had to get done. And I was just like, not great. But then, you know, talking to my friends and family and reconnecting has been actually amazing. So that always helps. And like calling my brother and, you know, having good conversations with Ash, you know, every day is healthy. So
So, and it's funny because we always think of Ali as being upbeat, positive, and this can test the most positive person, because there's also that fear, especially with someone with privilege and someone who's rich, that says, I can't even complain at all because I'm gonna look ungrateful. I'm gonna look. So that's another fear about, I think sometimes people have to express themselves, but
Who's actually used to just staying home all day?
yeah,
Just being inside. I know they go outside and stuff, but just not
test people.
doing their normal day-to-day stuff.
Yeah, it tests people on, it tests Ali Krieger.
I was in a bad mood yesterday.
Yeah, no, it's testing us. It tests everybody. It's testing everybody. So I think this next clip is going to be talking about Heather's birth plan, or kind of like we talked about in another video. Alex Morgan talked about how a lot of hospitals were saying you can't have more than one person, and then Heather was saying there was hospitals saying you can't even have your partner in the room giving birth. So she's going to kind of talk about it, and
Birth is different these days.
I know it's just such a wild time to be giving birth. So she's going to be kind of talk about that. And here we go.
Level-headed throughout pregnancy,
She's
except
level-headed.
one night.
Except for one day.
Dear. I wish Dave was here to tell this story.
I was
It
gonna
was
ask
when
if
New
you guys
York, it
got
was
into
when
like
New
an
York
argument.
City was like really putting lockdown measures in place, and a couple hospitals in New York City had decided that only patients would be able to be in the room, or only birthing
I remember
women,
that. I remember that,
not even partners, right?
Right.
So I'm reading this as kind of being like, oh my gosh, like this is what's going to happen all over the country.
Yeah, but who was on your birth list to begin with?
It was just going to be Dave. Good question. It was just going to be Dave, and we hired a doula. So it was going to be
Okay,
doula and Dave.
Yeah.
Right now, we can only allow one. So clearly, it's going to be the doula. Just kidding. It's going to be Dave. But, so when it was
You're like, no.
for a couple of days, I thought it was going to be 0. And
that's scary.
I started
That's scary.
crying. I was reading these articles. I started crying.
Yeah.
And I was like, Dave was trying to be sensitive because he knew that like I was actually genuinely upset. But I think inside he was like trying not to laugh because I was being so dramatic and absurd. He was like, this isn't going to happen. I'm like, and I was crying. I was like, what? Are you just going to like drop me off? Like it's the airport? You're just going to drop me off at the front door? And like, what are you gonna do? Like, you're just gonna like go to Panera and get a sandwich, and I'm just gonna have a
And wait for a
by
text?
myself. And he was like, he's like, no, I don't think that would happen. And plus, it wouldn't be Panera. I would go to Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's.
It's like such a standard day
anyways, I was
statement.
like such a drama queen, but I mean, it's not really a drama queen. Like I was like,
That was
really
scary.
No, this is like real life
kid.
shit, HAO.
This is half your kid. How are you not gonna like be able to be there too? Anyways, but then that like that was dropped within like a few days, and they're like, okay, that's
good.
That's crazy. As long as everybody's healthy, they can be in the room.
Good. That is scary to think that you're going to be all by yourself giving birth.
Yeah, surrounded by like strangers just pulling something out of you.
Yeah, and I can understand the opposite. I've seen birthing rooms in the past now that had like 5, 6, 7 people in it. I think that's a little overboard.
I don't weird.
Yeah, because back in the day, I
Hey,
will
Mom and
say,
Dad, how you doing back down
yeah,
there?
exactly.
Get a good view.
Right. Well, I remember back in the day, even like people telling me in like the 60s, 70s, men, it wasn't, the partners weren't in the room, and gay partners, let alone no, always no gay partners, but no, heterosexual couples. Fathers were not in the room.
Yeah.
And it worked out fine. So I mean, I guess we could also say that it worked out fine. But but they at least were there at the hospital. They weren't maybe in the room, but they were in the waiting room. And what Heather was saying is that they weren't even allowing people to even enter the hospital.
Oh, yeah, that's wild.
That's scary. But she's so funny. She's like, it's gonna either be the doula or Dave. Of course, it'll be the doula. I know it's not Panera. Actually, it makes me now. Sarah wants a Jimmy John's or Panera.
Panera.
I know. Luckily, there is a Panera within like not now, we're not going out to dinner now, but within 15 minutes, there's no Jimmy John's. It shows you how level-headed Heather is. She got upset one time for something so major. That's major, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, here's the next one. Not sure it is, but here we go. Okay.
First.
Lefty's like, oh, speaking of that, my toes right now are ratchet.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about mine.
I was like, when you're pregnant, right? Like past a certain point, you like it's kind of uncomfortable to like tie your shoes and like bend down, like get to your feet.
I've always wondered that. Like, what do you do about that?
Slippers.
Oh yeah.
Are you like,
what your shoes? So basically, what I was
Are you wearing
saying
flip flops all the time?
What I was saying is, I asked Dave. I thought it was a reasonable request, but I asked Dave, like, hey, do you mind painting my toenails? I can't reach them without it being like uncomfortable. And he said, absolutely not.
What?
Why?
Yeah, like he was like, he's not into it at all. He was just like, I don't want to paint your toenails. Like, I don't like feet. Like, I've never done this before.
I mean,
I'm not painting your toenails. And it made me think for 1 second that I should have married a woman.
Gail is coming
Like, I was
out.
like, this is ridiculous. You're not going to paint your wife's toenails when she asks when I'm carrying your child. And
just in that moment, that one thought.
yeah, I said now's one of those times that I wish I married a woman. So anyways, my toenails right now, that might have to be an hour episode. I don't know.
Oh God.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Oh, hi, Peens.
Oh, Pinoe's in the chat. That is so funny because some men are just not into that. They're like, nope. Not gonna help
Some
you.
do it, but
Some would, yeah.
don't.
Some would, because I know, like Sarah and I kind of talk about that sometimes. That's one of the great things about being married to a woman. Like I'll do Sarah's hair. Like even for like our wedding, I did Sarah's hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I help her. We help each other with girly things.
Well, I don't really help you with girly things. I know how to do makeup, but you do your own makeup.
Yeah, you help me with some things.
I don't really do your hair or anything.
She brushed it once. It's nice to have that kind of female to help another female.
We can relate to each other
Completely.
on a level where a man and a woman cannot.
This is what I always say when anyone always brings up same-sex relationships. What do I say, Sarah? I say, woman speaks woman, man speaks man. I speak woman. I don't speak man.
I speak man. Oh.
Well, actually, but that's the way I look at it, and I think you guys know what I'm talking about. That, but I think that's so funny. Her husband's like, no,
You can be bilingual though. You can speak both.
that's true. That is actually true. Or like Sarah says, sometimes we're just talking about this today. Some dads let like their kids put like makeup on them, nail polish on them. Some dads are like, hell no, that's not going down. But that's so funny. Her husband is just like, no. She's like, please, I want to marry. I wish I had a woman. And some people are actually against the idea of like your wife being your best friend, like your best female friend. And some people are like, no, I don't want it to be a best friend. I want it to be a lover. I want it to be a romantic. But I've always thought, hey, what's wrong with it being both? Because some people are not for that.
Yeah.
Some people,
You're my best friend, but I also have an actual best friend.
You do? Excuse me?
This is news to you?
Yeah. What are they doing right now? What are they doing at 5 o'clock tomorrow? You don't know. They're not your best friend.
I do.
But you guys know. I think I get what you're saying. But and I don't know what the next clip is, but here we go.
You're also my best enemy. My
No.
worst enemy.
And here we go.
Push back here and there, so.
Isn't it crazy that like
We'll see.
I will probably have a child like since the last game of NWSL? Like literally our last game, okay, like everybody kind of knows. We don't have to be a secret about it. I was pregnant for the last couple of weeks of the season. Hooray! He's a winner. And So
Yeah, but that was so amazing for you how everything like unfolded. I was like so proud of you, and just as your friend, like seeing that I don't know. I just think you're
thanks, bud.
just the best, and
Yeah.
I'm not just saying this, but like it was awesome. It like kind of makes me emotional how like it just all unraveled, you know, for you, and it's
I
just
know.
like so
no,
perfect.
I mean, it was unfortunate that Mare obviously tore
Oh my
ACL,
god,
but then-
absolutely. You
But
know,
then it
that-
allowed me to like step in, play a little right back. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I've just had a really good mentor through the years. Right side, strong side.
I know.
And,
Well,
like,
shout
it's,
out to
kinda
Mare,
I know
right?
what to do. I've been watching Ali do this for a decade. Yeah, no, that was awesome to win, and I didn't tell anybody. Like I was like, we can start trying. Like it's close enough to the end, and then it was like, hip hop.
Happened right
okay,
away.
this is happening.
We're doing it.
I didn't tell anybody on the team, not even Crystal, who's like my bestie on the team.
Yeah.
Because I just did not want any distractions as we were in our champampionship run.
Yeah.
And then in the locker room after, of course, you see all like those Budweiser ads of people like champagne everywhere. And like as soon as the coaches left, I was like, I'm sorry, I can't drink, you guys. And they're like,
Wait, what?
Wait. And I was like, yay, we had 12 men on the field.
Stop! I would have died.
Gosh. Yeah, so I told him in the locker room. So, but anyways.
They look like they could be sisters.
Oh, there's a little bit.
Yeah, they're
a little bit.
faces. They kind of look similar.
But how special is that? Like, you've just won the NWSL championship and then you're pregnant.
It's like you won at life.
Yeah, it just worked out so perfect. And some people don't get pregnant right away, but it just happened for her, and you won, and
She's fertile.
which I just think is so special. And I love how she said she didn't tell anyone, which I think is very. I think it's smart, and then B, it's probably hard too.
Yeah.
To not tell anybody.
Oh yeah.
But once you tell someone you're pregnant, it's just like. Almost like, gotta be careful, even though someone knows, a professional athlete knows their body better than anyone.
Yeah.
But no any distractions, let alone, she said in here that once the coaching staff left, even though there wasn't any more to be played, but I think that's so cool. Pregnant. And we kind of talked about it when she announced her pregnancy. We kind of figured it out in our hands.
In our hands?
In our hands, in our mind, in our calculator.
In our heads.
In our heads, that she was pregnant for the very end of the season. You can kind of do the math, but yay, so that's exciting. And here we go.
Okay, Pinoe's up to no good.
Pinoe's up to
What is she doing?
She's in the chat.
Oh God, Pinoe, this is not your stage.
And also, pour yourself a glass, sis.
Pinoe, you already did your live thing. Yeah, pour yourself a glass, unblind after talking. I could tell you were a little bit nervous.
Oh, and Joe Biden.
In your intro thing. Yeah, now you're laughing. Yeah, you need to pour yourself a glass and not like Perrier. Like
I didn't see. She was roasting me, someone said. Girl, what'd you say?
Okay, so that's funny because Pinoe, she's everywhere, man. She wants to be in their life. She has her own TV show. She interviewed Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Girl, she everywhere. So the one last thing, anyone who saw the interview with HAO and Krieger, they know. So Krieger made a comment about getting her hair dyed. And then HAO goes, well, where are you going? Because, her stay is still in isolation. She goes, oh, Ash set it up, making it sound like maybe someone was coming to their house or maybe they were going somewhere. And then people in the comments were kind of like, hey, don't do that. Be careful. Don't still isolate. Right. And then HAO read a couple comments like, dude, people are kind of roasting you for getting your hair done. And she goes, okay. And she said it in a nice way. Okay, I'll cancel. I don't want anyone to worry.
Wait, why didn't you find that clip?
Yeah, it was kind of like spread out, so it was it was hard to grab it.
Gotcha.
And then she goes, okay, I'll cancel. And then whether or not she's actually going to cancel, I don't know. She has
to order that box dye stuff.
She has
black hair.
She has to decide what she needs to do, whether or not she canceled it. But then later in the interview, HAO goes, "Hey, where's Ash?" And then Ali goes, "Oh, she's probably out with the pups or whatever. They have a big house, so who knows?" And then she goes, yes, she's probably upset that I told everyone I was getting my hair dyed because if I have to cancel, Ash set it up. And then they actually did bring up the hair dye, saying like her hairstylist says don't do hair dye or box dye. But Krieger has dark hair, so I think she'd be okay.
Yeah.
And it's the Rona time, so.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but I should have found that clip. But that's the thing. she said that she was being honest. She's getting her hair done, and then people were like, "No, don't do it." But then, if she wants to cancel it on, it's completely her decision. Completely.
Right.
I mean, I think it is. Some people might be like, "No, the greater good of mankind," but no, she has to make these decisions. Oh, and then Pinoe goes. Someone goes, "Oh, you're just a Florida person," because people from Florida make their own rules sometimes.
They're living in a whole nother planet.
They really do. They live in their whole.
Florida's its own country.
It really is.
Say that.
It really is. Florida. Questions, comments down below. What did you guys think of that interview? I thought it was just such a night. It was just. HAO just seems like someone I would just know.
Yeah.
And be friends with. And so questions, comments down below. Krieger, HAO. I wish I actually could make an appearance. That'd be awesome. But we'll talk to you guys later.
Bye. Yeah.